Now, you know what they say, a watch pot never boils.
We start the movie with Derry B, played by Loretta Devine, making heart-shaped Valentines. Then we cut to Joyce, who's played by Alfre Woodard, dressed up and waiting for her husband Daniel. She's pissed because he's late, again, and she's convinced he's cheating. The next day, Joyce takes her daughter, 15-year-old Lauren, who already has an attitude, and little Gail, on an impromptu road trip to see Derry B in the country. She doesn't tell Daniel, which Lauren, being the spoiled, messy child she is, has something to say about. And Lauren is also mad because she can't go to Freaknik.
And you said I could go to Freaknik.
The girls complain about being hungry, so they stop at a diner. Lauren, once again, acts a damn fool, causing a scene.
You think I don't get it? I get it.
Storming off and immediately calling her daddy to snitch on her mom. And of course, he coddles her like the spoiled princess she is. Back on the road, Joyce reminisces about visiting Derry B as a child with her mother, Brenda. Flashback to younger Joyce at church, where she and her cousin get in trouble and are sent outside. This is where we meet Troy, the pastor's son, and a walking red flag. He rolls up on them, giving full-on creeper energy, but an adult steps in just in time. Cut to a church carnival. Troy's on a Ferris wheel, acting a damn fool, gets kicked off, and surprise, surprise, plays the victim instead of taking accountability. Now we're in an open field where young Joyce and Derry B escape to their little hideaway shack. Innocent conversations, all is well, until drunk-ass Troy shows up, and I don't need to spell out what happens next. Flash forward, Joyce nearly crashes the car. They arrive at Derry B's house. Over lunch, Daniel calls Joyce, mad that she took the kids without his permission. Joyce calls Lauren out for being a snitch, and Lauren, being consistently insufferable, says,
It's my dad. Call him whenever I want to.
The next day, Derry B and Gail go collect eggs and meet a boy named Earl, who Lauren immediately likes. They visit Ethel, Derry B's mother, at the hospital, where Ethel is trying to yank out her IV. Friendly reminder, IVs aren't there for decoration. We actually need those. Ethel tells Joyce, take care of your big sister. Interesting. Meanwhile, Joyce runs into Thomas, a childhood friend turned doctor, and he asks her to dinner. And she says yes. Ma'am, aren't you married? The next day, Derry B visits her father's grave, where Everett, her obvious crush, tells her he left flowers for her. She runs off blushing like a schoolgirl.
Thank you.
Joyce goes to dinner with the doctor. The night goes well-ish and ends with a kiss. Later, Joyce finds an old photo and Derry B's birth certificate, which reveals they're actually sisters. She confronts the town midwife, who confirms their mother had Derry B when she was young and passed her off as someone else's child. At the lake, Lauren is too busy flirting with Earl to watch her little sister, so Gail gets bit by a snake. Joyce and Derry B rush to the hospital, where Derry B comforts Joyce, telling her that
Some things happen make it grow up faster than you should.
Now, here's where the movie really pisses me off. We see everyone after the assault. Ethel is surrounded by a group of church women who care more about reputation than justice.
We don't need the church tainted. Be reasonable, Sister Ethel B.
Decides Troy won't face consequences and try to persuade her to not press charges. Instead, his mother asks for him to be sent away to avoid scandal. FYI, the mother is the pastor's wife. Joyce's mom, Brenda, is ready to burn it all down and kicks everyone out the house. But Ethel blocks her from calling the police. Joyce and Brenda leave town after that. Earlier in the movie, Joyce and Lauren had bought a couch. After talking with Derry B at the hospital, she finds out that the store she bought the couch from is owned by no-good-ass Troy and his trifling mama. She immediately returns the couch, and Troy's mother is still out here making an excuse for her son.
My family has suffered. My son has suffered.
Later, Joyce and Derry B hit up a bar where Everett asks Derry B to dance. She resists at first, but eventually lets loose. Joyce spots Thomas at the bar with another woman, so she ghosts him for a few days. Meanwhile, outside of the bar, Troy rolls up, pissed that they were talking about his mama. Next day, the doctor comes to visit Joyce. Turns out the woman was his cousin. He clears that up and they make up. Then Ethel dies. After the funeral, Daniel, Joyce's husband, shows up, says he wants his family back, and lays it on thick. They kiss and hug, and just like that, he's back in the picture. And then Troy, being an absolute creeper, tries to touch Lauren and asks where her younger sister is. Finally done, Joyce slaps the hell out of him and leaves. Derry B finds out what happened and is ready to throw hands. She confronts Troy in the middle of the street, humiliates him in front of everyone, and leaves him looking defeated.
Not now, Mama.
Good for you, Derry B.
Finally, Joyce tells Derry B they're sisters. Derry B says she already knew. They walk down a long dirt road together, closing out the movie. So Lauren needed her ass beat. This came into this movie acting a straight up ass. She was so far up her daddy's ass that she couldn't tell that her daddy was cheating on her mom. And she also couldn't even figure out that her mom was trying to escape her dad. And I just find it really strange how she was so unaware of what was going on in her family's life. All she was worried about was partying and going to Freaknik. And then I had to go back and had to think to myself, how did I act when I was that age? And I'm like, was I similar to that? Potentially. But being able to look at it now at this big age of mine and see how she's acting, I'm just like, how? How did she not smack the hell out of Lauren? I don't think I would have been able to make it. I would have been in jail. Lauren pissed me off so bad. I just can't even imagine having to deal with a daughter like that, or a child like that in general. So not only was Lauren insufferable and a horrible child, but then she's supposed to watch her sister, and her sister ends up getting bit by a snake because she wanted to go die. I don't know. I think if I was the mom at that point, I would have been over Lauren and I would have sent her ass right on with her daddy. Let me just say that Ethel, I think that's Derry B's adopted mother, not her real mother, her adoptive mother. She pissed me off so bad in this movie. You mean to tell me that your daughter just got assaulted and you're going to listen to the church women instead of press charges for your daughter? And then when her biological mom says that she wants to press charges, you also say, no, we're not going to do that. You know what? This happens so often in Black families. I just don't know what to say. That saying of what happens in the house stays in the house, it ends up messing up a whole bunch of us, girls and boys. You know how many of us have had things like this happen and our families have covered it up? It's absolutely ridiculous. And then to find out that Troy went up north and ended up doing the same thing over and over again and got into drugs and ended up hurting other people. That's exactly what happens in real life. These perpetrators are protected for whatever reason it is, and then they go on and they do the exact same thing again. At some point, we've got to get out of the mindset of what happens in this house stays in this house situations, and we got to actually start pressing charges towards these people. I don't care if they're your son, your daughter, or whoever it is. We've got to stop. Otherwise, the generational curses that we have will continue to go on, and it will keep on passing on to our children and their children, and things will never get better. Now, how the did Troy not get his ass beat? Everybody knew where he was, and no one ever did anything to Troy? You mean to tell me he's a frequent perpetrator in this town? Everybody knows where he works. Everybody knows where he lives. And nobody ever rolled up on him. It's just not making sense to me. Like, I know small towns are different, but damn, how much can this man keep on getting away with without somebody saying something about it? Let's also talk about the relationships in this movie. Everybody was trash. The only person that wasn't trash in this movie was Derry B. Joyce was trash. Her husband was trash. The dude she was dating was trash. Joyce was really out here making a love connection with another man while she's whole married, given her husband was out there cheating too. But I'm just like, what is the point of staying married, being in a relationship, if you're just gonna go out and cheat? Like, just divorce. I know sometimes it's not that simple because of insurance and children and all this other stuff, but is it really worth your misery to stay in a relationship if the relationship is just gonna make you miserable? Honestly, the mental health toll that it takes being in a toxic relationship just is not worth it. And the fact that her husband came back at the end, I don't know how long it took him to get there, but I'm pretty sure Joyce said something to that oldest daughter, Lauren, about how he wasn't in a rush to come get them. So I think at the end, Lauren kind of redeemed herself. That was after she also got inappropriately touched by Troy. How many people had to suffer? So overall, I love this movie. I watched this movie when I was younger with my mom. This is a classic Black movie. But watching it now, after about 20 years, something's wrong with these people. Why did I watch this movie when I was younger and think that shit was okay? Why did I think that this was okay? This is not okay. Everybody deserved better in this movie, especially Derry B. Justice for Derry B. Troy needs to go under the jail. And that's all I have to say. If you like my recap and my review, feel free to like and subscribe and comment below if you have any suggestions for any movies that you would like to see in the future. Thank you.